What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to This Week in Esports and Gaming, the show where we talk about the latest and greatest in business happenings for esports, gaming, and creator news. I'm your host, Mark Hai. We're here for the third week of May 2023, and let's dive right into it. For our first top 3 story, the European Commission and China have both approved the Microsoft and Activision Blizzard acquisition. The EC and China's State Administration for Market Regulation have approved this, which is a pretty big deal. Basically, this means that the UK CMA and the US's FTC are the main thing standing between Microsoft and Activision Blizzard making this happen. What's interesting about this is that the EC and the UK typically are lock in step with these decisions, which means that there's something big enough for them to vote differently upon this huge, monstrous tech acquisition. The EC stated that while the deal could harm competition in cloud gaming, it said that it accepted Microsoft's proposed remedies, of which the free license to cloud gaming providers issue being the most pressing, given Microsoft has signed many partnerships that allow for Activision Blizzard titles to be streamed on platform of gamers' choices for the next 10 years. It seems that the EC was okay with this. This could very well help Microsoft push closer to make this deal happen, and the decision might get overturned in the UK Competition Appeal Tribunal. Activision Blizzard has stated that the companies were more likely to terminate the deal rather than to step away from these key markets, which is interesting because that makes sense. The US and the UK are absolutely huge markets. Not much has been shared about China's decision yet, but that's also a reassuring sign why it's been so positive for Microsoft. Interesting for China, though, given its stance on video games, which has been really wishy-washy lately. I'll be continuing to follow what happens in the UK and the US as well as worldwide with this deal. Saudi Arabia's public investment fund have increased their stake in Electronic Arts in C. As reported in their recent Form 13F to the SEC, the PIF have increased their share in Electronic Arts to nearly 25 million shares, which is up from 16 million shares in Q4 of 2022. They additionally purchased other shares, around 3 times their shares in C, from 239,000 shares to 833 shares in the same time period, which is the Singapore tech company that owns Shopee, as well as Garena, who have worked on Free Fire, Call of Duty Mobile, and Arena of Valor. That being said, the PIF has not really changed their ownership in other gaming companies such as Activision Blizzard, Take-Two Interactive, Embracer Group, or Nintendo. Something to note here is that the PIF has thus far focused on a lot of AAA publishers as well as known gaming companies, and as far as I can tell, I do wonder if they'll focus on smaller game studios or other regional hubs such as China or other markets. I'm curious to see if they'll invest into mobile as well. There's a huge market for these mobile gaming areas, geographic areas of Asia, Africa, and Latin America. Huge growth potential for these regions are already clocking huge revenue and viewership numbers, so I'm wondering where Saudi Arabia will invest more into next. Heroic have been acquired and LDLC are going to cease their operations. Heroic has received a cash offer from 𝗠𝗿𝗖 to acquire all outstanding shares in the company, which would be around 2 Norwegian kroner per share. Heroic's board of directors unanimously recommended that the shareholders accept this, and based on the share price above, the deal would see Heroic shares sold for about $5.26 million US. For reference, 𝗠𝗿𝗖 is a private Norwegian LLC that's owned by a regulated EU investment fund, and a loan would also take place if the agreement is met, which would help Heroic's liquidity and ability to meet operating expenses. The LDLC story is a bit sadder, on the other hand, since they're not getting a lifeline. The legendary French esports organization was most recently a joint partnership between electronics company LDLC and football club Olympique Lyonnais Group, with rosters across CSGO, League of Legends, FIFA, NBA 2K, and Motorsport. The org was founded in 2010 and won large championship titles in League of Legends and CSGO, but ultimately the press release about this announcement mentions that despite a solid reputation and recognition in gaming, they did not manage to carve out sufficient positioning among the general public. To be quite frank, I feel like it's a pretty difficult time to carve out sufficient positioning among the general public unless it affects the general public, like COVID-19. Either way, this is just a tale of some of the outcomes in esports, right? LDLC will no longer be, whereas Heroic are on a lifeline. I might want to make a table based on Forbes' top 10 esports orgs. Neither of these are in that list, but either way, the Forbes top 10 esports org list that they always make every year, and compare them to their former ranks and rank them based on public knowledge of how they're doing now. Maybe something to consider in the future for me. As far as partnerships go, Blast partnered with TikTok, Sky Esports, Cineworld, and Novo Nordisk. The bulk of these partnerships are centered around extra distribution of the final CSGO major in Paris. The first major will be streamed on TikTok, which is pretty cool, so I think this is really awesome. Sky Esports will have exclusive Hindi broadcasting rights for the champion stage on YouTube, Twitch, and their Hindi creators. Cineworld will work with Blast to showcase the final match of the major in theaters across 8 countries, which are the UK, Hungary, Poland, Romania, Israel, Bulgaria, and Ireland. And the Novo Nordisk partnership will focus on a health-focused initiative called Away from Keyboard, which will cover a number of documentaries of players and personalities on their journey to achieve a more balanced lifestyle, which is also pretty cool. ESL Faceit Group partnered with Nine. Nine will get a moderated space on Faceit for its fan base with tournaments organized on the platform and merch being able to be sold in the Faceit shop. This comes after their esports run in the Blast Major, where they finished 15th and 16th out of 24 teams. Sentinels partnered with Starforge Systems. Starforge Systems will now be the official PC supplier of Sentinels with its flagship system, the Voyager Elite. They will also work out to kit their offices and training grounds with the top-end units. HyperX partnered with Valkyrie. This is a fun collaboration between HyperX releasing a limited edition keycap called Mika the Shiba. This marks the third edition of HyperX's HX3D keycap drops. XSET partnered with Breakaway Music Festival. XSET will collaborate with numerous music activations at the Breakaway Festival in Boston by including gaming on festival stages and customized merch drops as well. Breakaway attendees will be able to participate in meet and greets, live streams, and game competitions, with some music also featuring game soundtracks and 8-bit samples as well. Glass Cannon Unplugged and Genuine Entertainment have partnered up to announce a crowdfunding campaign for the latest Apex Legends board game, which is pretty cool. They were looking to raise $242,000 and have raised over $400,000 so far, so it's been a massive success. I'm just curious to see what the audience crossover is here, whether it's hardcore Apex players, whether it's hardcore board game players, just casual players. Who is it? I'm really curious to see. As far as finance and M&A goes, Rooter have raised $16 million. The round was led by Lightbox and is a mix of debt and equity financing. The round will be used to scale the company and help improve its tech capabilities on the streaming and gaming platform. Nod1 Gaming have raised $28 million. Most of these funds will be used to develop their gaming and esports ecosystem, including new IPs and expanding into emerging and new markets. The round consisted of existing investors such as Nazara, Crafton, and Jet Synthesis, with new investors as well, and the round values the company at around $350 million. 1SP Agency have acquired the digital marketing firm Studio CO2. Studio CO2 specializes in campaigns for games with publishers like Ubisoft, Xbox, and EA, as well as products like Logitech and Meta with those companies. 1SP Agency intends to expand their marketing service offerings with this acquisition. Aristocrat have acquired Neo Games for $1.2 billion. This acquisition will be on the online gambling operator, and for reference, Aristocrat Leisure formed Pixel United, which owns Plarium, Big Fish, and Product Madness, which have very notable games like Raid Shadow Legends and Cooking Craze under their title. As far as workforce changes go, Eric Anderson and Christoph Poucher have been promoted to president and CEO respectively at FaZe Clan. Eric has served as the VP and head of esports for the org for the past 7 years and has contributed to FaZe Clan's expansion in esports, over 12 esports titles. He holds a bachelor's in politics and international relations from Princeton University, and Christoph's COO role is an expansion to his CFO role, where he held executive financial roles in the past as well, with Sony Pictures Entertainment, Playboy Group, as well as Critical Content. He holds an MBA from Vienna University of Economics and Business and a Master's of Philosophy from the University of Amsterdam. Kelby May has joined Offbrand as the Chief Revenue Officer. He has lots of experience in the gaming space, most recently at Loaded as the EVP of Partnerships, and he spent time at Twitch before doing sponsorships as well as Good Game overseeing accounts, and at CLG as the General Manager for 2 years. He holds a Bachelor's in Economics from Pacific Lutheran University. Donovan Martinez has been promoted to Influencer and Partnerships Marketing Manager at GameStop. He was with GameStop for 1.5 years prior to his promotion and was only overseeing influencer marketing at that time. His role expansion comes as he's also the co-founder of Illicit Talent. Congrats to you, Donovan, on your promotion. Kaylee Hurst has been promoted to the VP of Sales and Marketing at PTW, which stands for Pull to Win. Kaylee will report to the CEO of PTW, Deborah Kirkham, and will oversee all sales and marketing for the company. She's been with PTW for 8 years and is the co-founder of the Game Dev Show as well, and holds a degree in apparel design from Washington State University. Guido Hackenberg has joined Williams Racing as the head of gaming partnerships. Guido was previously the head of partnerships at Veloce and Team Quadrant for 2.5 years. Before that, he was the global partnership development director at Motorsport Network, and he holds a master's in art business from Sotheby's Institute of Art. Darcy Silver has joined Glitch as the Chief Investment Officer. Darcy is the co-founder and CEO of Love Seats, which aims to help people exchange seats for live entertainment and sports, and he's also founded a variety of other businesses within software, automotive, and hospitality. His focus at Glitch will be on driving investor growth and capitalization activities to support Glitch's vision of 32 esports stadiums across the US and Canada, and he holds a degree in hospitality administration from Santa Barbara City College. Atticus Bailey Stobbs has been promoted to the VP of Strategy Insights at SteelSeries. Atticus is a veteran of SteelSeries as he's been with the company for over 11 years and has served as the Director of Marketing Analytics the entire time, driving strategy through insights. He has other experience in market research with Nielsen and Commerce Bank in the past, and he holds a Master's of Marketing Research from Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville. As far as new stuff goes, BGMI is going to return to India. According to Crafton, Battlegrounds Mobile India will be available in app stores soon. After less than a year of absence from India, many esports teams and creators in India, such as 8-Bit Creatives, the Asian Esports Federation, and Sky Esports, are very excited for this, and rightfully so. This was one of the top titles in India for quite a while. CSGO Roll has been banned in Australia. The investigation by the Australian Communications and Media Authority found that CSGO Roll was providing casino-style online games, which is currently illegal under Australia's Interactive Gambling Act 2001. It'll be interesting to see if platforms similar to CSGO Roll are banned elsewhere. EA are going to compensate players appearing in the college football game. All FBS players can opt in to have their names and likeness in the upcoming EA Sports college football games and will receive payments, though how much they'll actually receive is still being discussed. Either way, this is pretty huge because college athletes in the US couldn't get payment for a long time, so this is a big move in the right direction for collegiate athletes. That's it for this week in esports and gaming. Thank you so much for tuning in. Credit to the brands and authors themselves for the images and information provided. Shout out once again to the folks at the Esports Advocate for all they do. And as always, everybody, if you find this valuable, please tag someone down below who might find this valuable as well. Share it with them or just, give it a little bit of a like. And as always, everybody, have a great day.